A very good evening, people. How are you all? A very good evening, Preksha. So, how's everybody doing? Good evening, Pratika. Good evening, Ayush. Has everybody gone through the first chapter? Thank you, Pratika. I'm good too. Good evening, Gunjan, Khyati. Priyanshu. Okay, tell me, guys, have you all gone through the first lecture, the first chapter that we covered so far? We covered those exam patterns and your syllabus introduction to the first chapter. Anybody is having any queries till that point, please put up in the chat box. And I want everybody to be attentively replying and reverting. Nobody is going to sit silently in the class. And please revert all those for whom it's the first class. All those for whom it's the first class, kindly revert in the chat box. Okay, for Khyati is the first class, for Mohit is the first class, I think for Karina, for you too is the first class. Okay, Priyanshu first class. Okay, we have two Priyanshus now. Okay. All those for whom it is the first class, in case if you have not gone through the first lecture that we covered, then I please suggest you please go through that lecture once, full lecture, okay? We discussed about the exam pattern, I also spoke about how we're going to cover in FA, financial accounting, okay? And we had introduction of the first chapter also. So my request, Pratiksha, I think it's your first class as well. Go through that first class video, okay? And then if you have any issues, you can ask me, okay? That would do. It will be uploaded on the LMS. If anybody has not got the LMS IDs, your user IDs and all, then please get the same through Sandeep sir. He will give you those IDs. I will get them accessible to you. Okay, but please have your LMS IDs, your books as early as possible. Do not delay, because from today onwards, you will start doing homework. Okay, so I need you all to have your books, your e-books, your physical books, whatever you want to carry, please carry it with you on the class. Another instruction, nobody is going to use any mobile calculators. You all are going to use the calculators that you are going to carry in the exam. Try to use the same standard calculator only. Okay? Good evening, Saurabh. And make sure that you are joining the session maximum by 5 and not beyond that. Okay? Yeah, so let's start. The last class we started with the first chapter. I'll give you a quick recap of what we covered in the first chapter so far, and then let's complete the first chapter. Anybody having any queries? Please put up in the chat box. Keep your videos and audios off. Only when it is needed, I will give you that right to unmute. Okay? In that time, just look at me and just hear me. Okay, another news that I wanted to share today, one of the students gave F3 of a previous batch and he scored 94. So, and consistently, we are having scores of more than 85 very consistently. Okay, so that means you all can easily score more than 90. Just give more efforts, sincerity, and dedication, and do not miss live sessions unless it is very, very urgent. Okay, make sure that you are always having time for your sessions. We will have classes 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 5 to 7. If there is any change in time or date, in case, then I would be updating the same in the group. So be active in that WhatsApp group also. And I hope that everybody is a part of that group. Just give me a second. Okay. Guys, I just need 1 minute. Yeah. So let's continue and let's cover the first chapter's revision. Anybody having any number of doubts, there is no issue. Everybody in the class has to be absolutely crystal clear with the concepts that we do in the class. Fine. So there is absolutely no scope of any rectification in the class. There is no mugging up of the concepts in the class. You all are going to make sure that you understand the concept. Fine. I'll just share the screen. I hope my screen is visible to everyone. If there is anyone who's facing any video audio issues, put it in the chat box. Okay, so we started with the first chapter, Introduction to Accounting. Okay, let me quickly just cover up what all we covered. Okay, so it's a recap for those who attended the first session. For those who did not attend the first session, I think that you will get more or less the information or the corrects about this chapter. First point that we understood was the difference between financial reporting. Okay, Mohit, I'm sorry, but we use only one language, English language. In case if you want me to explain, and this applies to all the students here, in case there is something that you want to have an understanding in Hindi, then please, you can ask me after the class or you can ask me on the WhatsApp. But make sure that we are just following English only in the class. The reason being we are doing ACCA, which is of a foreign body, right? It is of UK mainly based that we are doing. So as it is, as we progress further in the levels, we just need this English language only, correct? So let's get ourselves accustomed to this. Hope it's clear, Mohit. If you face any problems, any issues, anybody, please connect with me. I'm going to resolve it. Okay, and you all can mark messages directly to me instead of marking it to everyone. Okay, our first topic that we did was financial reporting, financial accounting, and management accounting. These three terms. What do we basically understand with these three terms? So we had this Excel where I told you, made you understand the flowchart. Financial accounting is basically the series of transactions that take place for booking the transactions in our books in a way that we can draw meaningful conclusions from it. So we have recording of transactions, then we summarize them in ledgers, then we create trial balance, then we have P&L and balance sheet that is prepared. This all comes in financial accounting, where we are, preparing these statements for the different users to derive their understanding from. Now, financial reporting is a bigger picture than financial accounting. It includes financial accounting. Okay, so financial accounting plus the reporting of plus the reports that are prepared based on these financial accounts that we have prepared, any analysis that we do, any interpretations that we do, all this is included in financial reporting. Like we create different ratios, we create sales reports, and the different reports, they all are prepared under financial reporting. So this entirely thing is called as financial reporting. Thank you, sir. Okay, now management accounting. What is management accounting? It is a detail of financial accounting. Okay, so like the bigger picture is financial reporting, then we have financial accounting, and then in detail analysis by the management is done under management accounting. Okay, so management accounting is basically when the management wants to go in the deeper of the transactions. Like for example, that I say that this year the rental expenses have gone up very much. They have doubled from the last year. Financial accounting will tell me that yes, that the rental expenses for the current year is 2 lakh. For the last year, it was 1 lakh. In financial reporting, we will report that there is a double increase in the rent, and then we will give a reason for the same. But if the management wants to go in the detail that why the rental expenses got doubled, have we doubled the capacity of producing the goods? Have the production doubled? Why? What is the reason why the company went into double space? So management accounting is going into the deeper analysis of the same so that management can make decisions that can help the company to do a better planning in the future. Okay, these three things we understood also in the last class. Okay, then we just started discussing the financial statements. First, we covered the statement of P&L. Okay, because there are two main areas of financial statements. One is statement of profit and loss, and another is statement of financial position. Statement of profit and loss is prepared for a period that is generally a year. A year can be an accounting year, financial year, fiscal year, calendar year, any year. That is basically an accounting year that we refer to. Okay, so here we understood that concept of profit and loss. Then we also understood that the terminologies like what is revenue, what is expenses, what is income. We covered all this. Okay, revenue is basically the income generated from the principal business of the business of the entity. That what is the core business of the entity? From that core business, whatever is the income generated, that is termed under revenue. Expenses are those outflows, okay, or those costs which are incurred by the business to earn that revenue. Then what is income? Income is generally everything, including revenue, that is basically bringing more inflows to the entity. It can include revenue, it can include other income also, like dividend income, interest income, all those. Okay, and then basically we understood the format of this profit and loss. Okay, and how to calculate the profit for the year. Then we also understood the statement of financial position. What do we mean by an asset? Asset is something that brings or that generates future economic benefits for the entity, that generates future economic benefits. It's an economic resource for the entity. Maybe that benefit is generated in the form of cash. That is, when you sell the asset, you earn cash. It is generated in the form of increased production units. It is generated in the form of more higher productivity. Okay, so in any ways, it is bringing more benefits to the entity. Liability is where the money will go out of the entity. Okay, now it's just like the present, like assets are present resource, liabilities are the obligations, a commitment that you have to give this amount to us, Mr. XYZ. That is called as a liability. You have an obligation. Then we discussed activity 2 and activity 3. Finally, now we are going to cover the balance of the chapter. Before I take you to the balance of the chapter, quickly put it in the chat box if you have any doubts, any queries till this point. Any doubts or queries till this point, please put it in the chat box. Those who are having the second class, first class, anyone can put it. And I want people to be attentive. Nobody is going to be sleeping in the class, okay? Yeah, which format? The P&L format? Karina? Please revert. Yeah. And one more thing, we are just doing a touch up of this chapter. I mean, I have not yet discussed the things in detail that we are going to cover in different chapters. I'll open that also, Saurabh. This format. Yeah, so I explained you the format last time in the class like this. This is the T format that you've prepared generally. Okay, now this format is converted into a vertical format here. So like sales less cost of sales gives you gross profit. You add other income, you reduce other expenses, that is indirect expenses, and then we get profit for the year. Is this clear, Karina? So we have an example in this form which is appearing here. Sales less cost of sales gives you gross profit. Cost of sales is opening stock plus purchases plus direct expenses less closing stock. Exactly in the same way how you prepare in the trading and P&L account. And then you get gross profit, you add other income, you less the other expenses, that is the indirect expenses, and then we get profit for the year. Is this now clear? Absolutely, Karina? Saurabh, are you now clear? Absolutely. Let's move further. Okay, now third portion that I'm covering now is capital or equity. So guys, let me just show you one formulas here. Okay, now I want your attentiveness here. Okay, I truly want your attentiveness here. When I say capital, okay, now a company or a firm may be having an opening capital. You all have done in your earlier classes. And even if you have not done, you know that every company, suppose it's the opening trial balance that you prepare. So every company has got opening capital. It basically earns profits. Profits always increase your capital. Capital is what? The worth that you have in the company, the investments of the owner of the company. So the profits will increase the capital. Your drawings will reduce the capital. What is drawings? When you take out money for your own purposes. So of course, if I'm taking out money from my own company for my own purposes, drawings will reduce my capital, right? Because it is not an expense for the company. It is not business expense. So why would it be allowed in P&L account? It is my personal expense as an owner. As an owner of the company, it is my personal expense. So I will show it as drawings. Drawings means what? Your capital account will go down. Right? Yeah, personal expense, household expense, basically an expense which is not your business expense will not go in the P&L account. This is clear. So that means my capital will go down. What do we call it when your capital goes down for your personal expenses? We call it drawings. So now if I have to give you a formula that how to calculate closing capital, what you will do? You will say, ma'am, it is opening capital plus profit less drawings. We will also add one more thing. What? If there is any new capital introduced during the year, let's suppose I had opening capital of 20 lakhs. I introduced 5 lakhs more in my company. So my capital will be increased by that additional 5 lakhs, right? So then my formula will be opening capital plus capital introduced plus profit less drawings. It will be my closing capital, right? Guys, if I have to draw an equation of balance sheet, you know that liabilities is equal to assets. If I do a breakup of this liability, what do we call it? Equity and liabilities. So that means I can say that capital plus liabilities is equal to assets. Is everybody with me on this? Capital plus liabilities is equal to assets. Everybody is with me on this? Anybody who is not clear, put up in the chat box. So Anchal, Ayush, Purva, Gunjan, Harshita, Ishita, Karina, Khushi, Khyati, Madhvi, Mohit, Ojeshwa, Pratmesh, Pratiksha, Preksha, Prema, Priyanshu, both Jha and Agarwala, Sankalp, Soumya, Saurabh, Shivraj, Vaibhav, Yasir, Zia, all of you. Are you guys absolutely crystal clear? Please say yes or no. I'll repeat more. Great, guys. That means my class is attentive. And Mohit and Saurabh, I see, don't make me always call your names. I mean, it's just not you, everybody. When you're not clear, ask me. Okay? Do not go with any doubts. Okay, now let's understand it in a better way. I'll just draw it here, okay? Look here. Those who have doubts. If I want to put in a very simple way, what do we put on this side? We write capital and we write liabilities, right? Here we write assets. Are you clear, Mohit and Saurabh, till here? Simple. This is a simple balance sheet, right? If I have to make, you know that both the sides are balanced. So what do we always write? Capital plus liability will be equal to assets. Is this now clear? If I want to put it, can I also put it in a way that capital is equal to assets less liabilities? You know, simple maths. Now, if I take liabilities over there, it is plus here, it will become minus. Is this clear till this point? I mean, anybody, those who have doubts, only those revert. Those who are having doubts, you will revert. Otherwise, everybody, just look at the screen. Okay? Now, which capital is this? Of course, it is going to be closing capital, because suppose I am preparing my balance sheet or statement of financial position at 31st March 2023. For example, I am preparing on the closing date only. So if I am preparing on the closing date, how liability is our asset? Preksha, what are you saying? Have you ever prepared balance sheet? We have on the left side, we have capital and liabilities. On the right side, we have assets. Both sides always balance, equal. That means capital plus liability will be equal to assets. So capital will be equal to assets less liabilities. Am I clear now? Okay. Now, what capital are we talking about here? Closing capital. So I can also see that closing capital is equal to assets less liabilities, correct? Because you always refer to as closing capital. Now, can I open closing capital? Can I see that closing capital is what? Opening capital plus capital introduced during the year plus profits. I'm just opening the capital. That is, I'm in detail writing closing capital. Plus profits less drawings is equal to assets less liabilities. Can I see that? Why? Because we know that closing capital is equal to opening capital plus capital introduced plus profits less drawings. So I can replace this detailed formula over here. Guys, is everybody clear? Then you will say, ma'am, why are you discussing this? I mean, why in the world we need it? We need it because we have questions that will give you detail about opening capital, that will tell you about drawings, that will tell you about liabilities, about assets, and then they will ask you calculate profit. With this equation, guys, we can calculate profit. Simple mathematical equation now. So do we need to learn anything? No, because everything is conceptually understood. Now, those who are still not clear, please put it in the chat box. Clear? So this is what we have done here. Now, one more thing, I would just write down one more thing. Sometimes the question, instead of writing capital, they will give you the term net assets. Why net assets? Keep listening to me. Because in the accounting, assets less liabilities. For assets less liabilities, we use the term net assets. This is a term that we use in accounting. So guys, here you know that closing capital is equal to net assets. Which net assets? Closing net assets. So just remember that sometimes in the exam, you will not use the term closing capital. You will use the term closing net assets. You will not use the term opening capital. You will use the term opening net assets. I hope I'm absolutely clear with this. So we can use this information also. Okay, this definition also, where I can say that my closing net assets will be equal to opening net assets plus capital introduced plus profit less profit. So every formula remaining same, just that in place of capital now, we will have closing net assets. Yeah, that's okay. But I hope you are able to understand, Saurabh, even with the non-commerce background. I've shared links in the group. Please follow those links to get your basics clear. All those, even those who are attending the class for the first time today, I will reshare the link today. Please go through those links, and it has got multiple videos in it for you to understand those basic 11th, 12th maths. Okay, 11th, 12th accounts. Please go through the same so that your accounting basics are very strong. Okay. Let's go into the book now. Okay, people, we are going to do questions now. Now, come on, let's look at now the format of statement of financial position. So we have assets, exactly the same way how we are prepared. We have assets as the heading, first side, non-current assets, the details. Then we will have current assets, the details. Okay, prepayments are the payments made in advance. We are going to be covering them in chapters, don't worry. So they are like prepaid expenses. Cash in hand, cash at bank. Now we have got total assets, non-current plus current assets. Capital and liabilities, we have capital as discussed, opening capital plus profit less drawings. If we have capital introduced, we will add that also. Okay, then we have non-current liabilities. That is like here we have bank loans, then we have current liabilities, we get total of capital and liabilities. If you see, the total of capital and liabilities is 2,90,000 and assets total is also 2,90,000 because balance sheet is always balanced. That is why we use the term balance sheet. Okay, just that we have covered all this. Now, just remember one thing. I know it's a very basic thing. We have already covered it, but still, let's remember one thing. The profit and the loss account is always prepared for a period. Please don't make that mistake. Okay, mistake as in don't forget it. Profit and loss account is always prepared for a period, and balance sheet, or we call it statement of financial position, is always prepared on a particular date. So opening also, you will find one balance sheet because suppose my year ended on 31st March 23 and then the next year will start on 1st April 23, right? So opening, the last year closing is also one balance sheet and the current year closing is also one balance sheet. So balance sheet can be prepared on any month end also, any quarter end also, 6 months end also, any date. So on a particular date, we check the position of the company. Okay, financial position of the company. Okay, now let's look at the next topic, the users of financial information. We are going to be discussing this. Okay, so now I want my class to be fully attentive and answering me. What are we discussing in this topic, people? We are discussing that suppose now I'm looking at the balance sheet of Reliance Industries. Why I would be interested in its balance sheet? When I am an investor. Why would Mr. A be interested in Reliance balance sheet if he is an employee? Why would the government of India would be interested in Reliance balance sheet? Just because it is the Indian government. So why would Mr. X would be interested in the balance sheet of Reliance Industries if he's a supplier of raw material for them? So similarly, we have different people from whose perspective we will understand why that person would be interested in the balance sheet of one company or the financial statements of one company. Why? Wait, we are going to discuss some patience. So let's take one by one. I'm going to be calling students who are going to revert to me in the chat box. Okay. So why would an investor be interested in the balance sheet, in the financial information? Tell me, Shivraj, Tamsa, Weber, Yasir, Zia. All five of you, please tell me, why would an investor be interested? Only these five will revert. Quickly. Rest everyone can frame in your mind why would the person would be interested. Quickly, I want your answer is in the chat box. Shivraj, Tamsa, Weber, Yasir and Zia. All five of you. And write your messages directly to me. Very good, Shivraj. Rest everybody sleeping. My question is very clear. Why would an investor, the one who is investing money in the company, why would he be interested in the financial information? Why? Yasir, why would they be interested in the financial position of the company? Why? This is what my question is. Why? Okay, so let me read the answers. Anchal, no, right now I did not allow you to answer. I'll give you opportunity, okay? Yeah, Vaibhav says investors are interested to know about the financial statements to know how much dividend they will get. Very, very good point, Vaibhav. Very good point. Organization will be able to pay interest on their loans or not. Generally, investment means what? When I'm investing, I don't give them the loans. But yes, in a way, I can say that my investments earn interest. Yes. So I would be interested in how much interest I would be receiving. Yes. Yeah. So Yasir is the correct point. Okay. They can further invest or not. So probably they will take their future investment decisions based on the company's financial position. Okay. Zia says, because he wants to secure his funds by investing in a company that is strong financial so that they don't have to bear a loss by investing in wrong company. Very good. So I can just summarize these points. Number one, better returns, that whether they are getting good returns or not comparing to their competitors. Number two, their investment security. Number three, how future investments will look, how value will go up, go down, like this, their future potential. Very well done. Very well done. Very good points. Now, next, why would employees be interested in the financial information of the company? I will call out the names, only those will revert. So I want Saurabh, Sankalp, Priyanshu, both Priyanshu to revert. Saurabh, Sankalp and both Priyanshu. Why would employees be interested? Write messages directly to me. Rest everybody can frame their answers in their mind. Because if they're not giving me full answers, then I would ask you all to revert. Quick! Don't write stories. Write quick lines and send it to me. Priyanshu, both Sankalp, Saurabh, revert. Do the employees earn profits? You're going to join a company, Reliance Industries, and will you go and say, Mukesh Ambani, give me your share of profit? So framing, you have to correct. Okay. Sankalp says job security and salary safety. How would they ensure? Employees want their salary on time, and at some point, some company employees also have some ESOPs in the company. So they would be interested. Okay. Valid point, Saurabh. Okay. Can anybody else give me some points for employees? Why would employees be interested? I want more answers. Some good valid answers that I have not discussed. How would they know if their future is secured or not, Ayush? My point is, you're an employee of Reliance Industries. You were an employee of Adani, for example. You know that Adani Group's reports were out, and so the Adani Group's shares went down. How would it affect you as an employee? Employees want to secure their financial and professional growth, Zia says. They can hope for bonus from the company if the company performs well. Very good, Priyanshu. Now your statement is correct. Very good. Okay, for the future salary plans, can employee know the EPFS and the other portions? Yes, but it doesn't affect because they are the government statutory limits that they have to pay. So it doesn't affect the companies in the loss or profits. Future growth opportunities in the firm. Okay, for wages and salaries also for the opportunity in terms of employment. Increase the involvement and understanding of the business. Okay, so I can just summarize some good valid points for employees. First of all, they would be concerned, like suppose if I'm talking about Jet Airways, when Jet Airways company shares started going down, and it was having losses, employees felt that their job security was not there. Yes, very good, Tamsa. Okay, so when they were worried about their job security. Plus, a very valid point: bonus. If the companies perform well, they are going to get bonus. They're going to get, also they're also very important point that none of you said that if the company is not performing very well, they have a risk of firing, like Meta and all. They fired employees. So the company is performing well. They are job secured, and they know that there is very less chances of them getting fired. Yeah, so exactly all of you have covered. Okay, now the next I want the points to be covered. ESOP is also a point. Yes, we can say yes. For the employees who receive ESOP, like in Google, like in Infosys, they receive ESOP. So yes, it's a very valid point. Correct, Saurabh. Okay, next, let's discuss why would lenders be interested in the financial position. Let me tell you who all will answer. Okay, so I want Prem, Preksha, Prathamesh, and Pratiksha. These 4 people to tell me. First, Pratiksha, Prathamesh, Preksha, and Prem. Try to, everybody start your running thinking machine in the brains. Okay, so that we have some best answers in the group. Right now, I want only these 4 to answer. Prem, Preksha, Prathamesh, and Pratiksha. Very good, Preksha. Very valid point to get to know the credit worthiness and financial status of the company and the risk levels. Very good. So I'm talking about lenders like bank, when bank has given loans. So you remember the Vijay Mallya case where the banks gave loans like with open hands. So they actually face troubles. So now on, suppose if a lender has to give loans, so why do you think okay, now Prem says to know their return is safe with interest or not. Yes, very good. From the profit and loss account. To know the liquidity, Tamsa, absolutely stunning point. Very good. So liquidity status, that how the company will repay the loans. To know the ability to pay off the loans, exactly the liquidity point. To write off the bad debts. Bad debts, actually lenders will not think. Bad debts is from the point of view of lenders. Okay. But liquidity position is what is my concern. They're interested because they're worried whether they will get their money back. But Tamsa, next time, only when I say, please, then only answer. I did not give opportunity. First, these 4 people will answer. Okay, let everybody have their own thinking process. To obtain the critical information about businesses' financial solvency in the risk they face. Absolutely correct point. Anybody else can give me any other point? I'm still looking for one more point. Think yourself as SGST Bank, SBI Bank, or maybe you are a money lender. What more would you look for? Can anybody else give me? Just don't repeat the points. Only when you have a different point, then only write. Very good, Anshul. This is a point that I was looking for. Credit limit. You have your credit ratings. Yeah, security, but yes, so very valid point, Tamsa. You know what happened with Vijay Mallya? The securities that he had pledged, okay, that he has mortgaged to get the loans, they were not very high value. So because of which, when he defaulted on loans, those securities were not enough to pay back the loans. So the value of security, very valid point. Credit limit, very valid point. If the thing that everybody nowadays have a CIBIL score. So if your score is not good, you will not get very high limit. So constant checking of that score is needed. So yes, the return paying capacity, the installment paying capacity, everything is to be covered. Very, very good. You guys have answered very well. Okay, next, why would a supplier, one who is supplying the raw materials, why would he be interested in the financial information? So I want Ojaswa, Mohit, Madhvi, Kritika to answer. Ojaswa, Mohit, Madhvi and Kritika. First, these four will answer. Think. Try to cover every valid point. Wait, guys. Give me more detail, Madhavi. To assess risk in credit worthiness is a very layman point. I want in detail relating to suppliers. Why would they be interested? Mohit, Ojaswa, Madhavi, Kritika, quick. I give you 5 seconds more. Give me answers. Kritika says to make sure that giving credit to the company is safe by reviews to the financial position. Okay. A little improvement in that answer is needed. Okay, but I'll improve it. Madhvi, they wanted to know about the company healthy financial position. Okay. You're not there, Mohit? Mohit and Ojaswa, why no rewards? You guys are not there or what? Okay, if the company is able to meet its short-term liabilities, very good, Ojaswa. Very good point. EBITDA, no, not to be considered. Kritika, to check whether the company will be able to pay the credit back on time. Yes. To know the credit worthiness. Mohit, give me a specific relation to suppliers. Creditor is what we are talking about. Okay, anybody else can give me some valid points? Why would a creditor be interested? Understand you're a creditor, you supplied raw materials to that company. Why would you be interested in the financial position of financial information of that company? Quick, anybody else? Otherwise, I'll tell you points. Just 5 seconds more to everybody else. Very good, Gunjan. To know about the payback period of the company. That is, I would just add one more point to know the capacity of the company to pay back. Whether the credit period that is offered by the supplier is the company paying back within that time or not. Yeah, the consumption of his or her product, how well is the consumption or how well are the sales? If there are higher sales of the company means higher purchases. So the supplier will also be able to produce, to sell more. So yes, this is also a point that nobody touched upon. Fulfillment of long-term contracts. Yes, very good. So what for me? Yes, Saurabh, but guys, all of you are just revolving around one point. Understand I'm a supplier. I need to see whether the company is satisfied with the products that I'm supplying or not. How would I know that if the company's cost of sales is low, that means the company is able to generate better products with the product that we are supplying. So the quality of the product is good. Nobody touched upon this. If higher sales means higher purchases, so the supplier has a chance that he may be supplying more quantities in the future. Yeah. So yes, why are you only concentrating on payment, everybody? Why are you not concentrating on business point of view also? Also, yes, you all are correct that whether the company will be having short-term liquidity or not to pay for the pay within the credit period offered by the supplier. Okay. No, we are not covering GST, Saurabh, because we are not doing Indian taxes. I'm not touching taxes. Come out of it. Let's come to UK. Let's come to IFRS. Okay. Fine. Are you with a CA firm? Are you working with a CA firm or in industry? Manufacturing company? Business owner. Okay. So that is why you're moving towards GST. Okay, let's come back here and just concentrate on IFRS. Fine. Imagine you're not in India. Even though you're sitting in India, you're in UK. So you're sitting in UK. Yeah. Okay. So good. Okay. Now I want you to think more than the payments. You have to expand your brain. Okay. Think more. Okay. Next, let's discuss why would customers be interested in the financial information. So I want Khyati, Khushi, Karina, Ishika, all girls to answer. Khyati, Khushi, Karina, and Ishika, please answer. Quick, girls, quickly. Very good. They would be focused more on, how better credit they would enjoy. Can the company allow them a longer credit period also? Financial ability to supply goods for a regular period. To know the quality of the products maybe, and the customer service. So they would be more bothered about customer service rather than the quality of the products. Okay. Yeah. I mean, yes, they would be worried about the quality of the products, but customer service is more better area. Very good point, Kushi. What happened to the others? Ishika, Karina, where are your points? To know services are provided in future or not. Which services? Don't give me any just plain answer. Refer to, you are a customer. If I'm a customer of Reliance Industries, if I'm a customer of Tata Motors, I bought a car of Tata. Why would I be interested in its financial information? Okay, I suppose I'm a dealer of Tata. I'm basically a person who's keeping large stock of Tata Motors cars. So why would I be interested? What if Tata goes into loss? What if it goes into profits? How would it matter? Anybody else can give me the answers? I'm not satisfied. No, Gunjan, our customer will never be able to know the costing of the company because it's a very confidential information. You drink Coke, right? Or Gunjan, you might be drinking Coke. Do you know what is the cost of making that Coke? You would never know that. So it's an internal information, nobody will reveal it. Financial information is like balance sheet and PNL, and we never come to know about that costing. Okay, so Preksha, yeah, discounts, I can say discounts, yes. If the company performs well, there is a chance that the company may offer good discounts to increase the sales. Okay. After sales services, yes, we have done. Social work will not come here as a customer. Future position of the company in market determine the investments. No, it's not going to be coming here. Yeah, comparison with the other company products, yes, will come here. Trust on the company, very good, will come here. The stability of the company as a long-term supplier, good points. Now I can see good points coming. Good, Ishika. In order to judge the financial ability and know about how long the company survive, provide good services. No, I mean, the going concern concept, yes. Now I will give you one example. There was a time when Maggie, you all must be knowing about Maggie, right? Delightful night snack. So now, there was a time when Maggie was, supposed to contain some harmful material, due to which the quality or the sale of the product went down. Sales were going tremendously low. There were very less takers for Maggie in the market. The company rechanged its product, modified it, and advertised the product that it is not having the best quality. Same thing happened with Johnson's. So when I am a customer for Johnson's, why would I be going to it? Okay, sorry. Why would I be going to it? Okay, if I'm a customer for Maggie, I may just go to the competitors. Right now, we're not discussing CSR here. Okay, why would I be interested in the financial position of the company if I can find good amount of expenses incurred by the company in its direct expenses, like quality and inspections, the expenses? Then I can see that the company is working on its agenda, okay, to better provide quality of the products. If I can see that the company is spending on advertisement and marketing, it shows me the company is serious about the products that it is doing. So customers, they're also interested in one thing. If the company is performing better, and then they may extend the credit period for the customers. They may offer some discounts, some additional services for the customers. So that makes them happy. You've heard of people, giving promotions, like suppose you are a dealer of so and so company. If you perform well, you will you will have foreign trip. What is this? This is a promotion methodology. So this all promotion expenses, you can see that, and the company is into profits, very high profits. That means the company is doing great business. So the customers will also be happy. Okay, you can see that everything is well connected. Yeah, Preksha, Saurabh. Okay, next. Okay, so please think out of the brains. Government and their agencies, why would they be interested in the financial information of the company? So I want Anchal, Ayush, Apurva, Gunjan, and Harshita. You guys give me good answers. Anchal, Ayush, Harshita, Gunjan, and Apurva. Come on, give me some good answers. Very good, Preksha. But you were not supposed to answer here, but you are correct. Very good, Ayush, to determine the amount. No, that's okay. That's okay. To determine the business paid the appropriate amount of tax or not, to regulate the companies and also for the purpose of taxation. Yes, Gunjan. Apurva says to ensure the regulatory performance under the norms. Same. Harshita says government makes use of it to compile national income accounts and other information. Yes. Other than the compilation of data, any other thing? And the government doesn't use every company's data. Okay, Harshita? Gunjan, any other points? If the company is paying the taxes, also if the company is using the appropriate accounting standards, very good, Gunjan, this point. The company is following the accounting standards or not. One more point, very correct, given by Preksha, that is, the legal procedures are being followed or not. The environment is not harmed in any way or not. So the different acts that the company has, the government has, are they all being satisfied or not? Okay, this is a very, very important area that the government sees. Also, when Jet Airways was going down, government intervened with the management of Jet Airways because of the security of the people like employees and the customers was needed. So they keep a watch on the company's performance. If the company is doing too good or too bad, then they look into the detail of that company, because a lot of people who are involved in that company. Okay, no, actually they're not worried about those foreign exports. No, it's not a valid point here. So from the government and the NG's main point is that they're more concerned about the taxes, the different contributions that are made to the government, the different regulatory needs that are being followed or not, accounting standards are being followed or not. So this is primarily the point that the government is concerned. Okay. Last, this point is open to everybody in the class. Ensure the company practice good corporate governance. Very good, Web of good corporate governance is what they look for. Yes, exactly. The window dressing of the company should not be there. So we have audits and all covered. Very good, Gunjan. Okay, last point. I want everybody to answer quickly and give me this. Why would public? No, I don't have, suppose I'm not an employee, I'm not an investor, supplier, customer, anything of maybe, Indian Petroleum Limited. But still, I am an interested party. Whenever there is a news coming for IPCL, I'd really look into it. Why would I be interested as a public? Actually, I was saying Hindustan Petroleum. Instead of IOCL, I was saying HPCL. Yeah. Very good, Prem. Very good point. That I may be a future investor, so I keep on being vigilant about the company's performance. Very good. Perfect, Preksha. The safety standards are being followed or not. Anchal, very good. How's the social welfare of the company? How is the company, good in the society? Like Tata Motors, Wipro, they carry very good brand among the public, that they cater to the public. How long the company will survive? Say as the going concern. Concept is important. Yeah, employment opportunities, very good term, sir. How companies will generate future employment. The trade unions point, Gunjan, that public mainly uses financial information for the trade unions. If the company is being true to the employees about the social information. Apurva, yes, investment decisions would be important, but as a future investor, yes. To know competitor advantages or disadvantages, yes, because when Jet Airways was not doing well, the other competitors, they tried to attract the pilots and the customers of that company. Yes. So very well. All of you validly put up a lot of points. So very well. So yeah, in short, you can use sort of the financial information. Don't need to write so much. You would be interested as a future investor. That's all. Yes, ethical point that the company is being true to the public or not, how much it is contributing back to the society is what we concern for. Very good, Gunjan. Okay, so all these things very validly put up, correct, very good. So I hope now you all are absolutely crystal clear with why different users of financial information will be interested in the financial statements. The reason being, we are asked in the exam about the different, users. Just a moment. Just allow me a moment. Yeah. So very validly put up. It is correct that we are going to be looking at these points. And whenever there's a question coming in the exam, then you can answer it. Okay, let's do one more activity. Which of the following sources of information would be most useful for managers to use when making decisions for the year ahead? Tell me the answer. Activity 5. Please think and then answer. Everybody, please answer. Okay, so I have answers coming up. You can write A, B, C, D. That's all. No need to type so much. So I have 2 answers coming up. Some are saying A, some are saying C. Okay, quickly, everybody answer me. A, B, C, D. Okay, some are saying B also. So Saurabh says B, some say A, and some say C. Come on, everyone. I want you to answer. Nobody in the class would be leaving this question unanswered. Okay, now let's do the answers. Which of the following source of information would be most useful for managers to use when making decisions for the year ahead? Okay, so here we need which information would be useful for the managers to make decisions for the year ahead. Financial statements of the last year or budgets for the coming year? Of course, budgets for the coming year, people. We need C option first. Why? Because based on the past information, we are going to prepare our budgets for the coming year. Based on the budgets, we will make decisions for the coming year. Past year financial statement is already made. Based on that, they prepare budgets, and budgets are important for decision making. Okay, so it is the financial statements, bank statements, tax records, all this past data, they help you to prepare data for the future, like we prepare budgets based on these data. Once budgets are prepared, which is a future looking, right, for the coming year, so then we can take decisions for the coming year. We don't take decisions based on the past financial statements. It's a government of the organization. Every company prepares its budgets. We too prepare our budgets, right? If you know you're staying alone and you know that you will receive 5,000 from the parents, then you will prepare a budget for 5,000 for the coming month, right? So budget, here we're talking about budgets of the company. Am I clear? Anybody who's not clear, please tell me. So all of you, those who answered A and B, like Khyati, Prathamesh, Ojaswa, Karina, Mohit, Priyanshu, Saurabh, Pratiksha, Sankalp, Priyanshu Jha, Harshita, Ayush, Madhvi, all you guys, Zia, no, not Zia, Khushi, Prem, are you all now clear that why it is C? So next time, read properly and then we will answer, okay? Good. I will just give you 2 minutes break, okay? And then we will continue with the topics. Just 2 minutes. Some of you said that, ma'am, please give break in between. So just 2 minutes break. Relax yourself and then we'll continue with the topic. Can we resume, people? Just a moment, I'll just resume. Yeah, right. Let's resume. Okay, now I have a question that what if I have 3 years of experience, would it be considered as PRE ACCA? Yes, it would be considered. The experiences which are considered in PER, they are given in detail on the ACCA Global. Just check that your experience is the one which is considered in that list. Okay, but articleship and all experience is considered just for the sake. Okay, then, ma'am, should I prepare notes during the class? No, no, no. No need of preparing the notes during the class. You will get this recording. Okay, so if you want to prepare your self notes, which I recommend you should always, when you're studying again at home, that time you prepare notes, because then you are more mindful open. See, in the class, we have limited time. So I want you all to listen to me properly so that you can grab the things. Okay, don't waste time on writing. And the Excel, which I'm doing in the class, I would be sharing with you after the class. Okay. If budgeting is not done, then we required past year in financial statement. Shivraj, please understand, why would I make which information would be needed for me to make decisions? When the year is already gone, how can I use that information to do decisions in the future? Like suppose we had the last year as a COVID year, and the next year is the non-COVID year. If I take last year financial information to make decisions in the next year, then it's not correct, right? Even if budget is not given in the option, even if, see, what I'm saying is try to understand this logically. Past data is not useful unless it gives me a future prospect. Correct? Now, let's give an example. Suppose there's a person who failed in a mock test. Can I just say that he will fail in the exam because he failed in the mock test? Or should I comment that now he has worked harder so that there is a chance that he will get very high marks in mock test too? And then we will decide, then we can make an estimation that whether how he will perform in his main exam. Are you getting the change? So past data is not all useful to make decisions. For making decisions, you need past data to be future oriented. Is this clear? Unless we have the same situations. If we have the same situation as in the last year and the present year, then yes, I can use the financial information of the last year as a basis. I hope now I'm clear. Madhvi, you have a list of companies and your VGLD team will guide you about it. Yeah, I will share the homework questions in the group for the coming week too. Also, I'll share it. Try to get the books before it. Then you will get another 4th option. You will not get just 3 options. Okay. I hope I'm clear, Shivraj. Can we move ahead? You will get another option. Let's not extrapolate things. Okay, let's move further. The next topic that we have is the different types of business entities. There are different types of business entities that are given here. There is generally sole trader, partnership, limited liability company. I have added one more. Okay, I've added one more, which is limited liability partnership also. Okay, it is not added here as such, but they have been asked in the exam. Like here in partnership, we have a reference for LLPs. Okay, so I have added the limited liability partnerships also in the list. This I would be sharing with you in the group. Now, please just look here. I've kept this, you know, the distinction very simple over here, and add more points as we discuss. So we have four entities that we're discussing here. One is a sole proprietorship, one is a partnership, one is a limited liability company, one is a limited liability partnership that I'm talking about. Please understand, we are not doing, just a moment. Not visible. Okay, please understand that we are not doing any law concept here. Okay, so we are not concerned about what is the minimum number of people to start the business, maximum number, and all. Let's not discuss. Vaibhav, can you ask me a question after I discuss this? Will it be okay? Let's complete this topic and then you can ask me a question. Okay. Now, please understand. Now, first, sole proprietorship, you know that it's a one-man show. That means one person will start the business. Okay. You have single owners, so they are sole proprietorship. Partnership, we need minimum 2 people to run the business. Limited liability company and limited liability partnership, they also require minimum 2 people to run the business. Maximum limit, which are the laws applicable and all, we are not discussing that as such. Okay. Wait, I will remove this point. Important point is that who are the management controls? Okay, who is controlling this business? Is a sole proprietor. Okay, partners. In the case of companies, company shareholders, they never control. Management control is always with the board of directors. Shareholders are the owners of the company. Okay. Similarly, limited liability partnership, there can be 10 partners. Out of that 10, maybe 2-3 partners are the main partners who are working. So they are called as designated partners. Okay. They look after the management of those LLPs. A very, very, very important point to note is that in case of sole proprietorship and partnership, the liability of the owners, okay, or the partners is unlimited. What do I mean by unlimited? Unlimited means if the company, if the business winds up, if the partnership winds up, if we are no longer doing this, and if we have creditors or the lenders who come up and say, look, you have to pay my money back, then the personal properties of the sole trader or the partnership can also be attached to pay back that money. But in case of limited liability companies or the partnership, their personal properties will not be attached. What does this mean? That if Vijay Mallya did not pay off the money, if Nirav Modi did not pay off the money, then the Jet Airways, when they did not pay off the money, then the owner's personal assets will not be attached. They cannot go into the house of Vijay Mallya and say, look, I want you to sell your house and pay me the amount. They cannot run after him into England. So the limited liability companies or the limited liability partnerships, they have a difference that the owners or the partners of the company, the shareholders of the company, okay, their personal assets will not be attached to pay off the dues. Yeah, the owner of LLPs, see, it's not about, actually, I did not want to go in detail of LLP. Designated partners are not just the working partners, but they are designated by the partnership that they are going to be the major contributors. Okay, so they are the major signing authority and the management control will be with them. In normal partnership also, we have no sleeping or working partners. So the working partners, but every partner is equally liable. In LLPs, the majority of the control lies with designated partners. The structure is different. Okay. Now, we have some examples. Now, for example, in sole proprietorship, I can say the name like Messrs. Pioneer Enterprises. We don't have limited liability or any term attached. In partnership, I can have a name like Messrs. Datta Singla and Company. You can see I've attached the term and company. With LLP, I will, like we have SR Bartley Boyd Associates LLP. With LLP, they have to write the name at the end as LLP only. And with the companies, they will either write the name as private limited, public limited, or we call it in UK, we write the name INC also, incorporated. Okay, INC dot. So that is also allowed. In UK, generally, we don't write private limited, public limited. We will generally write INC. Okay, or company. Okay, I hope I'm clear. In INC means incorporated. So now I think we clearly understand the difference between 4 entities. You are just expected to know their difference like this, not go in detail of the law. Shivraj, though this is not an area to be covered here, but the company's liability is limited to its authorized capital. Depends upon whether the authorized is fully paid up or not. Otherwise, it's generally limited to its paid up capital. Okay, maximum up to authorized capital. One point that I'm going to cover here is, for accounting purposes, all 3 entities, they will be treated as separate from their owners. All 4 entities, I will say, because we have discussed 4 entities. For accounting purposes, this is called as business entity concept. What does this mean? And when I'm preparing the accounts of sole trader, I will prepare his business account separate and personal accounts separate. Similarly, the partners' accounts will be prepared separately and partnership account will be prepared separately. And like, of course, with the companies and the LLPs, they are separate only. So business accounts and personal accounts are always maintained separately. This is called as business entity information. No, okay, then not a problem, Shivraj. Not a problem. I thought that you are just asking for it, okay? But I hope now you're clear. You can always ask. Okay, so I hope we are clear. Okay, just few points I will just mention here that I have not covered. The reporting requirements for limited liability companies are more stringent than for the sole traders or the partnership. In the UK, there is a legal requirement for the company to be registered at the company's house. In India, we call it registrar. In UK, we call it company's house. Complete a memorandum of association and article of association, the same thing that we do in India as well. Have at least 1 director and minimum is 2 for a public limited company who may also be a shareholder. Okay, so for a private limited company, I'll come to this point, Apurva. Okay, I'll take your point here. Okay, for a normal private limited company, they can start the company with 1 director also, but with a public limited company, they need minimum 2 directors. Wait, I'll write it here. Public limited company, minimum 2 directors. And a private limited company, minimum 1 director. Okay, prepare financial state accounts and submit to the company's house. Have its financial accounts audited. The larger companies only, but you're not expected to go in the details of these large companies, and distribute the financial accounts to all its shareholders. Okay. Now, guys, there are some advantages and disadvantages of business types. You can just go through the same. You will find these advantages and disadvantages in the heading essential reading. I will share it in the group. So those who don't have a group book, they can also read it. Okay. This is Introduction to Accounting chapter. You will find their advantages and disadvantages. OPC is a 1-person company. I'm not discussing here because it's not covered in our syllabus. But just to give you a brief up, it is a company which can be formed by 1 person. That is the private company kind of thing that we discussed. Okay. One person, only one director can start that company. And it doesn't need more directors to add up. I hope I'm clear, Saurabh. No, Tamsa OPC is not same as sole proprietorship because sole proprietorship is not governed by any law. OPC is one person company. So it has got all the features of a company, just that it can be started with one person. So here I can write. I'll not use the word private limited company because then I have to mention the OPC also. I will write. Otherwise, minimum one director. This is better. Yes, correct, Saurabh. So Saurabh has given the example, and if the MBA Chaiwala has got a company, he's made it OPC. Correct. Okay, so guys, I need you all to go through your essential readings heading also. Those who have got the books and the e-books there with them. Those who don't have it, please try to get them early. I will share the screenshots in the group. Okay, let's have some question. Okay, yes, Apurva asked me that, ma'am, why are you saying that sole proprietorship, business and owner are separate? They are one only. Apurva, suppose I'm running a business, XY, Messrs. XYZ. Then if I'm preparing its balance sheet and P&L, I just prepare for XYZ, right? For my own, for Anshu Budhia's own personal accounts, I will not merge in it. Right? I will prepare a separate balance sheet, separate account statement for the same. This is called as business entity concept. Business entity means for accounting purposes only. For preparing those accounts, we prepare it separately for the business and for the owner. Separate. Am I now clear? Okay, let's discuss this question. Quickly, I want answers. First one, you have to tell me it's true or false. Shareholders receive annual accounts prepared in accordance with legal and professional requirements. True or false? T or F? T or F? Quick! I want everybody to answer. Why only 7 have answered? Rest everyone, don't sleep. Answer me. Very good, very good. All of you correct so far. Perfect. Do you want me to call your names? Answer. Correct. Perfect. It is true. Very good. Second one, the accounts of limited liability companies, they are sometimes filed with the registrar of companies. True or false? I'll discuss it. Second one, Shivraj, I'll discuss first one. Give me the second one answer. We have just read it also. Correct, Apurva. Very good. Madhvi, you're wrong. Yes, Preksha, you are correct. It's not maybe, it's correct. Shivraj, wrong. Yasir, wrong. Priyanshu, wrong. Guys, what we have read, very good, Khyati, very good, Gunjan. It's not that there is sometimes filed with registrar of companies. They're always filed. There is no choice. You all have to file it with the registrar. So it is false. Am I now clear why it is false? Priyanshu, are you clear now? Yasir, Shivraj, are you clear now? And Madhvi. Okay? I'm not discussing MCA, Saurabh. Let me not repeat it. We're not doing Indian scenarios and Indian taxes and Indian scenarios. We are doing UK scenarios. We are doing IFRS. So let's stick to it. Otherwise, what will happen? You will get confused if you mix up things. When we are doing ACCA, we have to focus here. Okay? Don't mix up. Otherwise, you will get confused. I've got students who mixed up their CA inter with these, CA foundation with these, and so they got all troubled into it. That is why I request all students to do not mix up. Okay, keep it isolated. No, not your bad. I understand. It's our, it's our being that we always practice in this area. So we all will always come up with it. But just leave that habit. Otherwise, in exams, you will get confused. Okay, so now here we will file with Registrar of Companies always. This was the catch. Shivraj, shareholders, they receive annual accounts prepared in accordance with legal and professional requirements. Means what? They are always, your balance sheets and the P&L statements are prepared in accordance with the legal requirements that are mentioned under Companies Act. Professional requirements which are given by the professional bodies like ACCA. They mention it. Am I clear? I hope now I am clear on it. That is why it is true. Third one. Employees always receive the company's accounts and an employee report. True or false? This is a good point. So I've got Vaibhav wrong, Priyanshu wrong, Ojaswa wrong, Zia wrong, Tamsa wrong. Everybody else revert. You're not going to sleep here. Come on, revert. Prem wrong. Mohit wrong. Rest everybody is correct. Very good. Fantastic. You all are correct. Do I need to call your names? Why I don't have an answer from you? Ishika, Karina? You're not here watching movie, right? You have to answer. Prathmesh, why I don't have answers from you? Yasir? Yeah, I've got your answer, Prathmesh. Kritika? Which is this option M, Karina? I hope you're there in the class. Yeah, I found your answer, Yasir. Sorry, my bad. We're doing true or false, dear Karina. Give me the answer. So yes, the correct answer is false. Not a problem. Please concentrate, okay? Please concentrate. Very good, it is false. Why it is not true? Have you ever heard of an employee report? I have worked in corporates, I worked in Big Four, I worked in industry. I never received an employee report. I never received a company's accounts. It was just always published on the website, and if I wanted, I would just download it from internal website. They were never sent to me. So employees are never receiving this. Okay, it is false. I hope now those who answered it true, that they assume that the employees will be receiving it. I hope now you know we never receive it. Am I clear with this? Doubts, please put it in the chat box. Okay, second last. The tax authorities receive as much supplementaries, additional detail as they need to assess the tax payable on profits. True or false? Think. Absolutely correct, all of you so far. Wrong, all of you. All of you are wrong so far. Nobody is correct. So we have only Vaibhav, Priyanshu, Kritika correct. Shivraj correct. Very good. Harshita correct. And don't mark your messages to everyone. Mark it to me only directly. They never receive. We are doing second last point, the tax authorities. We are doing this point, tax authorities one. Tamsa, they never receive the report, employees. Ishika, correct. Very good, Saurabh, correct. Guys, what does this point tell me? That tax authorities have all the right to ask me any supplementary information that they need to assess the tax payable and profits? No, they cannot ask me like this. And if they want, they will start an assessment for the same. But at first place, they cannot ask me all the information. I will submit my return on the online platform, generally in the IXBRL format. Okay, and then I will upload the return. I will upload if there is anything else needed. That's all. If they need more supplements, they cannot ask me like this. They will need a permission to start the assessment. Only then they can ask me. Or if they think that there is a chance of fraud, only then. That is in the rare situations. Generally, they cannot ask me for a lot of supplementary details. Only limited can they ask. Yes, so they give notice if they want to start an assessment. Generally, in the normal cases, they cannot ask. Okay, this line, to receive as much supplementary detail is not possible. 1 or 2 details if they want, that's okay, but as much supplementary detail is not needed. Okay. Okay, last, banks frequently require more information than is supplied in the published accounts when considering applications for loans and overdraft facilities. Before answering, just think what is written here. My suggestion. Just think, if you are, I'm talking about a bank and you are an entity, you want to take a working capital loan, OD loan. Do you think banks will frequently require this information? Just think. So far, only Anchal is correct, Gunjan is correct, Preksha, Ishika, Madhvi, Tamsa, you are correct. Yes, Gunjan. Pratiksha, Mohit, Kritika, Apurva, Prem, Khyati, Pratmesh, all of you are correct. Good. Why are you correct? You know why? Do the banks have the authority? Vaibhav, correct. Yes, they do have. Why? Why they require frequently? Because if I've taken a working capital loan on stocks, now they would need every month updation on that stock position. What is the market value of that stock? Based on which they have given the loan. They need the market value of the property. Yes. So you can relate to it, Saurabh. What happened with Mr. Vijay Mallya? The banks did not ask them with the regular report. So when the value went down, they did not know about it and the loan was already issued for a higher value. So they need frequent information. Is everybody clear with all these points that we discussed, all these 5 points? Anybody with any doubts, please put up in the chat box, guys. I hope everything is going inside the brains and there is no rattofan that's going on. Okay, let's go to the second last topics of this chapter. Great. Legal response. This we have already covered with the concept of business entity. You can go through it. Okay, we have already covered this. Now let me talk about governance. What is governance? I will not be reading it. I will be explaining it to you. Governance means, you have heard of that corporate governance, right? It's the duty of the management to ensure that whatever happening in the entity is legal and correct. Whatever they're reporting in the financial statements is correct. Okay, and there is good corporate governance that is being followed by the entity because public, they lay a trust on that company. Okay, so it's when the Vijay Mallya case happened, when the Satyam case happened, when in Europe Enron case happened. Okay, so the public kind of lost the trust in the companies. They were afraid of investing in the companies. So it is not possible for the company to intervene in the day-to-day business of the company. So therefore, it is the ethical responsibility and the moral responsibility of the owners and the directors, and the management of the company, that there is good corporate governance that is being followed by the. Got it? Now, what are the legal responsibilities of directors? Yeah, the Lemon Brothers also. I can say that. Yes. Okay. Correct. Lemon Brothers. So what are the legal responsibilities of the directors? Now, in the Companies Act 2006 in UK, it gives the 7 statutory duties of the directors. Now, guys, what I'm discussing here, see, I'm following the new book because I suggest and I feel that you all will be appearing for the exam from September onwards only. Okay, this is an extra information that is being added in this book, the new book. Okay, the old book will not have this information. This was not there in the old book. Okay, so if you find differences, old book will always have less data than the new book. So in case if you're targeting to attempt by August end, which I find less likely because we would be completing our syllabus by that time only. Okay, so around that time. So therefore, I'm teaching you from 1st September 2023 onwards, that book. Okay. Now, so what are the 7 statutory responsibilities of the directors? Number 1, act within their powers. This was there in the first book. Act within their powers, promote the success of the company, exercise independent judgment, that there should not be any partial judgment, independent judgment, exercise reasonable skill, care, and diligence, that is, they have to be watchful and they have to be true, avoid conflict of interest. They should not have their brother as a supplier, kind of example. Not accept benefits from the third parties. Those big gifts, don't accept them. And declare interest in a proposed transaction or arrangement. So if I've got a brother-in-law who is a supplier, I should declare that, look, he's my brother-in-law, so I will not be a part of the transaction. This has to be there. Not a problem, Anshul. If you are going to give your exam in August, let's connect after the class. Okay, let's connect after the class. Okay, so I hope I'm clear. Now, do you need to learn this? You don't need to learn this. Okay, you don't need to learn this. You just have to be clear with this so that if there's an MCQ which is asked on it, you can answer. So learning is not accepted from you. Okay, it is not something which is expected by the examiner that you want to mug up. Okay, so that's all. So basically, here we're talking about the duties of the directors, that who's preparing the financial statements. Shareholders don't prepare the financial statement. It's the directors that they prepare. So there has to be a true view, the correct data, and due diligence should be followed while preparing the financial statements. There should be good relationships developed with customers and suppliers so that they are satisfied. The interest of the employee should be taken care. The impact of the company on the local community and environment, the CSR, should be considered, and there should be high standards of business conduct and reputation that should be maintained. Fine. Last, what is their responsibility for the financial statements? I told you that they are the preparers of the financial statements. So what is the responsibility for that? The financial statements are prepared as per the applicable IFRS. The internal controls that are necessary to ensure that there is no material misstatement. Material misstatement means wrong information. Material means that information which is going to affect the decision of the users. Okay, like the frauds and any information which is missing. They have to ensure, it's their duty to ensure that there are no material misstatements, that the financial statements are prepared in accordance with IFRS, that there is prevention and detection of fraud. They have taken steps to ensure that fraud is prevented and fraud is detected on time. Okay, so it's the director's responsibility, not the auditors, not the shareholders, to ensure that the entity complies with the laws and regulation. Normally, we think it's the shareholders' responsibility. No, it's the directors, because it's those to whom the control and the management responsibility is given. So directors should explain their responsibility for preparing accounts in the financial statements. They should also, excuse me. They should also also report if the company is having the chances of not continuing in the future. So the Jet Airways accounts, when it was published in the year before that it was declared bankrupt, it was informed in the financial statements that there are some hindrances to the going concern, so that the investors who had invested in the shares of Jet Airways, they would not be just suddenly be surprised or shocked with this decision. Every user needs to be informed of this decision. So going concern is a very important factor the directors should include in their report and the financial statements. Okay, and it is their responsibility that to ensure that every company is compulsory required to go for an audit. Depending upon the size, there would be frequency, that whether it is quarterly or yearly. So it's their responsibilities that the audit is done. The findings are reported to the shareholders, because ultimately they are the owners of the company. They should be informed of what is going in the company. Okay, and so you can see that it's the fiduciary responsibility. Fiduciary means legally it's their responsibility as a director to ensure that the financial statements are prepared properly, IFRS is followed, there's no material misstatement, they are audited regularly, okay, and everything is presented to the shareholders for the decision making. All this process has to be transparent. It is the responsibility of directors to do so. Okay, now there's an exam point, focus on this point. ACC examining team reported that the questions on governance had been particularly poorly answered in the past. Make sure you read this section carefully and be prepared to answer questions on it in the exam. First of all, many students, they ask me, when we are doing these kind of questions, ma'am, which are the important questions that can be asked? Because we have always heard of important, in our 11th, 12th, BCom, BBA, whatever we have covered. There is nothing called important in ACC. Everything is important. We may be practicing only 10 kind of questions, because ACC requires the students to be clear with the concepts. Do not mug up things. Okay, do not mix up things. Let's do 1 or 2 questions for today. And those who are following old books, people, you will not find very great difference. Like governance topic is covered in old book as well as new book. Some points they get additional over here. That's all. Okay. So I hope it is clear. Anchal, you're having the old book. You can follow the old book. Wherever you find difference, you can ask me. I will cover it. Okay. I hope it answers. Okay, generally you will not find a major difference, because fortunately this time the syllabus change has not been very major, though some points are added. So those who are targeting after the exam in the month of September, please buy the new book only. Okay, let's cover some questions. I will be sending you homework also. That needs to be done before Friday's session. Okay, let's do some questions. Just a moment. (1.2). Give me the answer. Give me the answer for 1.2 people, and I want everybody to answer. 1.1, Saurabh, I'm not doing because it is covered in chapter 2. Okay. Kindly, please just go with what we are doing. We have not studied IFRS advisory committee on, right? That we will do in the next chapter. Guys, give me the answer. Option A, B, C, D. Which option? A, B, C, D. Okay, very good. Zia, you are correct. Gunjan, correct. Apurva, correct. Shiv, correct. Prem, wrong. Mohit, Yasir, correct. No, Ayush, wrong. Ishika, correct. Tamsa, wrong. Apurva, Ojaswa, correct. Priyanshu, correct. Khushi, wrong. Harshita, correct. Rest everyone, do I need to call your names? Quick answering I want. Kritika, correct. Saurabh, what is your answer? Send me. For 1.2, quickly give me the answer. Vaibhav, what's your answer? Sankalp, I want your answer. Prathmesh, answer. Khyati, Karina, Ishika, answer. Saurabh, wrong. Kritika, correct. Harshita, correct. Khushi, wrong. Tamsa, now you're correct. Prathmesh, wrong. Preksha, wrong. Vaibhav, correct. Karina, wrong. Yeah, Ishika, you've answered. So, okay. Yeah, sometimes I may be missing out on your names. Yeah, Ishika, you're correct. Sorry. No, Sankalp. The third option is wrong. Khyati, wrong. Okay, the correct answer is B, second and third. Why? Please understand which entity are we talking about. Yes, Saurabh. Why? We are talking about a sole trader. First point will always be wrong because shareholders, we don't have a shareholder in sole trader. So first point, wherever it is coming, it is wrong. So option number A and D are straight away wrong. Am I clear? Because sole trader means there is no shareholder. He's only one person. It's not a company. It's a normal trader. Second, business bank manager will definitely be interested. He's a bank manager. He's given loans. So he's interested. So wherever second is coming, it is correct. I can see second here. I don't need to see other points because A and D are wrong. In C, there is no second. So B is correct. Are you clear? Financial analyst. Why would a financial analyst be interested? Financial analyst would be interested in a company. You are a financial analyst. Okay. In a company, would you be interested in the nearby grocery store? Because grocery store is run by a sole trader. Would you be interested? No. You would be interested in a company which is listed on a stock exchange more. Are you clear? So therefore, the option number 2 and 3 are correct, which is B. I hope now everybody is clear with it. Those who answered C, D, and A. Think logically. Okay, last question, and then some questions I would be sending you in the group. 1.4. Come on, give me the answer. Think and then give me. Okay, A, B, C, D, which is the correct answer? Let's see who all gave me correct. Very good. Apurva, Ishika, Zia, Preksha, Gunjan, Priyanshu, all are correct. No, Kritika, wrong. Saurabh, correct. Harshita, correct. Khyati, Vaibhav, correct. Everybody else, come on, we're not done. Give me the answer. Mohit, very good, correct. No, Karina. Read it, dear. It's wrong. Khushi, correct. Yasir, Shiv, Ojaswa, Ayush, Prathmesh, very good. Gunjan, read the, oh sorry, not Gunjan, Karina, read the points again and then think. Very good, all of you. Which is the correct answer? First, why second is not correct? Let's read. Operating as a limited liability company is more risky than operating as a sole trader. This statement is only wrong. Why? It is less risky because limited liability company means your liability is limited. Your personal assets will not be attached. But in sole trader, liability is unlimited. Personal assets will be attached. Very good, Pring. So, because the shareholders of a company are liable for all debts, wrong. Stop here. Shareholder is not liable for all debts. Okay, Karina? Shareholder is only liable for the debts of the business. That's all. That is debt up to the amount that he has invested. For all the other debts, his personal assets will not be used. Clear? But in the case of sole trader, his all assets will be used. So he will be liable for full debt. Okay? So which is the correct answer? Option number 1. Am I absolutely crystal clear with it now? Karina, are you clear? And who all gave me wrong answer? Kritika, are you clear now? Fine, great. So I'm stopping here. I'm just sending you all the screenshot of the questions that we will be doing in homework and essential reading screenshot that you're going to read. Before Friday's class, don't leave. Before Friday's class, homework has to be done. It is just a 10 minutes work for today that you will be doing. The chapter 1 has to be completed at your end, completely read out. If you have queries, I will take it. Okay? Essential reading portion has to be read, and you have to have sincerity, dedication, and discipline in your studies from day 1 only. Don't wait for day 20 to have this discipline. Fine? And I do hope that the 2 sessions that we have covered, everything has gone in the brains and you're able to understand the things. If you're finding difficulties, issues, queries, I'm there to resolve it. Okay, so I can take your queries in the next class. Anything that you have problems in, you can approach me, no problems. Okay, thank you guys. Bye-bye. Good night. See you on Friday. Complete your work and complete your chapter reading as well. You're most welcome. Bye-bye. Good night. Those who are not there in the WhatsApp group, please join. Ask Sandeep sir to make you a part of the group. Bye-bye. Good night. Take care.